Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
This is the time and date for sentencing in the matter of People versus Kier and Nicole Mullins. This is a 2022 case. There was quite some time between the issuance of the warrant and the time that the defendant got arrested. Tried a probation, which we've struggled mightily. We had a probation violation hearing in April. The matter was set for sentencing today. And it was found guilty of the probation violation. The original judgment was a deferral where 10 days jail were deferred. Rather than set this matter for sentencing at the time of the probation violation hearing, I set it for sentencing this morning. And here we are. Mr. Truckee, what would you like me to know here?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Mullins, at the time of the probation violation hearing, also had a guardianship matter pending with Judge Kane and a PPO matter pending with yourself. The court was able to delay this sentencing to allow time to resolve the guardianship matter, and that has reached a partial resolution, allowing for scheduled and structured parenting time and communications with the guardian and grandmother of the child through a parenting time app with third-party record keeping. That has calmed some of the issues that were present in the family when I came on board to this case. Additionally, Ms. Mullins is now taking Risperdal and Seroquel as well as an ADHD medication. I found this out because in talking to her this morning, I said, "Why are you so much easier to talk to this morning than you were last time?" She reports that she's now engaged in ISK services in Kalamazoo. She's living at Colonial Acres. I have a lease if anybody wants to see it, but she's got her own place with nobody else living there. She sees David Sink for ISK medication and Amy Albertson for talk therapy. She's working at Summit Polymers 6 to 2:30 every workday. Working at Speedway in Kalamazoo 3 to 10 Monday through Thursday. Working in McDonald's on Portage Road 3 to 10 every Sunday. Leaving Saturdays for the court-ordered and structured parenting time. Ms. Mullins has arranged these things on her own. Now that she's in treatment and working at all of these places, there's a concern that imposing the deferred jail time would greatly disrupt her well-being in her life and may end up causing more problems than it solves. It's our position that a revocation of probation and that black mark would be a sufficient punishment, as well as the, she's had to appear in this court a few times. She was arrested, I believe, on a warrant here that got this probation violation rolling. It's a 2022 case. This young lady's kind of finally got the rubber on the road here. And if the court were considering an extension, she would be requesting a different probation officer, but it's my suggestion that a revocation and allowing her to move on with the knowledge that she may not get another shot at probation under future offenses would be sufficient. Thank you.
Thank you. Daniel, what's your perspective here?
Well, I am always glad when people get the help and seek it out, no matter if it's the 11th hour or not. Obviously, the new meds I'm not aware of. I'm not aware of her having her own place. The last conversation we had via text, as well as the last one on the phone, did not go very well. I'm glad she's getting her life together. My perspective is that Miss Mullins does a lot of things 11th hour and gets a lot of breaks. And I don't think she's ever gotten some serious consequences. She tends to deflect, make excuses for everything. And then 11th hour, she comes in nice and sweet. And I think she's refused to stop the marijuana. I've smelled her reeking of that. The probate has smothered. She violated the no contact order with James, having communication with him. She said they did not travel to the probate on 420 together, but they were in communication and sitting next to each other. Probate also stated that she's had very hostile conversations with her. I've always tried to help her, and it's not been met with the best success. I think that 10 days was deferred for a reason, and I think that would be appropriate in this case, but I absolutely agree with the revocation.
Ms. Mullins, what would you like to tell me?
My last conversation with Dan, he called my counselor. We had a good conversation. He told her that I was a liar and asked her if I was honest with her. He's constantly accuses me of being somebody that deflects and waits till the 11th hour, but he's never taken the time to talk to me as a human. It's always kind of been a condescending father type of vibe, and that's why I requested it if it is extended, that I wanted a new probation officer, because I believe Dan sees me from eyes 10 years ago. And the person that I'm trying to be today, I really didn't come to him with excuses. I have emails of everything that I've said to Dan. I really never came at him. I never cussed at him. He yelled at me and I made a complaint 4-6 for a new probation officer because he yelled at me over the phone. When I was trying to discuss with him my medicine, my lease, and everything, I tried to tell him about all of the progress that I've made. He shuts me down. He defends my mom. I have a long email about how apparently I'm a bad daughter that badmouths my mom, when my mom's not even on this case, and he's been personally involved with her from the beginning. I feel he's too emotionally invested into it, where he doesn't see me as a normal client because he's known me from the past. He brings up my past, but the person that I am today, I work hard. I want my son back. I don't argue with Dan. I only told him in the email that he was ignorant, argumentative, because when he called my counselor, the first thing he brought up was that I'm a liar and I don't take my treatment seriously. And that is so unfair to somebody that I am today that does take my treatment seriously. The only thing that I have is my treatment. So I
Well,
just
we're
don't
in a good
understand.
place now. We weren't always in that good place.
No, but the 11th hour, as he claims, I wish my life was set up in a way for not to have to wait to an 11th hour. I wish that I had the opportunities and the support and the family behind me like other people do, but I don't. I'm 100% on my own. And I wish that he would see that on my own, from the people that I'm supposed to look at as my parents have turned against me. Instead of defending them, he should be my probation officer and see the person that I am, not looking at me as a toxic daughter when he has no business even discussing my personal life with my mother, who is not on this case and has no reason to be calling my probation officer 4 or 5 times a week.
That happens sometimes. Yeah, James Cooley is the complaining witness in this case.
If I could make a brief note on that,
And
the allegation be that they have contact.
yeah, we
As
do
part
not.
of Ms. Mullen's other legal proceeding, I think there should be some consideration given to a person. Also, if there's a violation of a no contact where it's with a witness in a separate proceeding, the law could hamstring a person.
What's the status of the PPO? Is it still in effect?
I believe Your Honor dismissed the PPO.
I thought I did.
Yeah.
That was against my mom, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been contacting her. We've been on good terms. I'm unblocked, but I emailed Dan that James was planning to come to the court date because my mom, Nicole, told him that I was talking about him to you on a YouTube video from our last probation hearing, and he watched it and he began blowing my phone up, threatening me. I have those text messages and calls. I answered James to calm him down, to let him know that the only reason I mentioned him because this is a case against him, and I had to tell the truth that we were a toxic, terrible relationship. I didn't show up to the probate court with him. He showed up on his own. The allegations of me smelling like marijuana, I can't attest to that because no one there said anything to me. Only person that said anything to me was Dan, who wasn't there. And my mom said that she didn't even say that I smelled like marijuana. I didn't smoke that day, and I've always been upfront and honest about it because it's not something that I'm trying to hide. I have emails of me telling Dan that James contacted me. I told him that James contacted me and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't want another probation violation.
All right, we're gonna put an end to this. Your probation is revoked, loss of deferral. They gave you 90 days in jail, you'd lose your apartment and your jobs. They give you 10 days in the jail, you're gonna lose your jobs. You don't want Daniel as your supervising agent, and I'm gonna get you off probation. But I'm gonna reduce the jail to 4 days, which is gonna be served as scheduled. You're gonna have to miss some of your weekend shifts. Rather than 10 all at once, which is what the recommendation was, that you go right from jail here. Do 10 days, you lose all 3 jobs, and that's not very effective. This probation was a difficult, inconvenient nuisance. And you're right, it got conflated between your relationship with your parents and the domestic assault with your brother, your boyfriend. And your parents were not the complaining witnesses. You got 4 days jail to do, which is gonna be scheduled. You may do one every Saturday, or every Sunday, or every Tuesday, or something that works. I'm waiving any additional fines and costs that are due. I'll have another agent other than Dan schedule the weekends. If you don't do them, I guess I can go back to 93 days. I do reduce it from 10 immediate days to 4 days to be scheduled. Waived any remaining fines and costs. That's the best I can do. I want you to stay here. We're gonna try to connect you with one of the other probation agents to schedule when you can do that jail time. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're good to go.
I am working 3 jobs just to keep my head high. From the factory line to the